I first got involved with LL research by moderating the online forums. I was volunteering and grew a working relationship with Gary Bean. And I first visited LL research in 2012, which was a big spiritual year for a lot of people. And I met Jim and Carla and Gary in person for the first time, and there was just a spark that we all felt. And soon after, they invited me to come help Gary in the office because the work was becoming more and more, and there's more and more interest growing in the Law of One, and that interest continues to grow. So currently, Gary and I share the titles of co-director, and what we do is we work a lot with volunteers to publish translations or provide various sorts of services, and we do various sorts of publishing, um, find new ways to present the information, find new channels to present the information through, and we see our primary roles as just finding ways to remove barriers between interested seekers and the information itself, and do our best to allow the information to be presented in an unbiased and clear way, and let the seeker form a personal relationship with that material. What I love most about this job is being able to witness the effect that information like the Law of One can have in a person's life, similarly to what it had on my life, where people discover the material and they are suddenly empowered by the knowledge that they are the creator, that all is one, and that their experiences have value. And there are ways that we can use these experiences to better ourselves. And it's such a liberating feeling, and being able to take part of that process with other people and witness them go through it is so significant, and it's what keeps me motivated every day, is the effect that this has on people. My spiritual journey began with atheism, essentially. It was more of an anti-spirituality, I'd say, an anti-theism. But as I grew older, I began asking some bigger questions. I began stargazing and looking into infinity, and I felt a pull within myself. And as usually happens, the universe started conspiring to put me on a certain path now that I was thinking about the deeper topics. And eventually I got into UFOs and metaphysics and stumbled upon the Law of One. And that has been my spiritual backbone and my spiritual uh, foundation for about 10 years now. The most significant personal experience of my life was simply finding the Law of One. I was, up to that point, not spiritual at all. I did not understand what spirituality was. And it was such a lightning strike, and my world crumbled down, and there was something finally new and enlightening that I could experience. And up to that point, or since that point, um, all of my spiritual experiences have been based around the Law of One and finding different ways to interpret it, different ways to apply it to my life, and using it to deepen my own meditation practices and deepen my service to others. What touched me the most about the Law of One was that it put my internal emotional experiences into a certain context of empowerment. Up to that point in my life, I had experienced relative privilege in this world, but I still had a lot of inner turmoil and anxiety and personal difficulties, and I always saw them as things that were happening to me, and I was a victim of this world. And the Law of One essentially taught me that these things are not just things that happen to us, they are catalyst for our spiritual growth. And I felt so empowered by the idea that no matter what was happening to me and no matter how bad it felt, I am able to utilize that for personal growth and evolve spiritually and become a better person, and open my heart, and uh, essentially learn to serve others better through those experiences.